StartUpSity boss speaking. Within 2 weeks, here are the numbers of collaborators in the various projects that I had mentioned had come across as interested. When you get numbers such as these, what happens is that you first make the sales speech and then you work on what you had informed them about. This is the first lead process in a sales company. What happens next is that if you use the software Goldmine, which I'm not sure is available yet on apps, you are able to discuss with them in the process of what they can do, what can happen, and what things to sell. This is but just a little information that one can get from people. And if they're changing their numbers, then to do business becomes a problematic thing. So this is where in the problem when it comes to being authentic in business, you are going to be called a fraudster because most people do not understand what process is. They themselves don't want to be rushed when it comes to doing anything, and then there are those who are picking up information quite fast. So if you don't explain and call them on an event and explain to them what a sales process is, then it's going to be difficult for you to do business with all of them. A lot of people, when they start their business, they get tired of it quite fast because they are not making quick money, because the banking system is slow, because you need AI, artificial intelligence, in order to calculate how quick steps need to happen. In various countries, there are different types of approaches towards people. If they don't understand what product management is, what business life cycle is, when things, words are used in a very big way, you end up having those depression moments in markets. So things need to be broken down in very simple terms, um, and that takes time, which is why we still have some people who are owing others in doing business of any kind. All of this becomes useless when other companies are doing business parallel with each other. Hence you have those situations where companies are clashing between each other, not knowing who is taking their customers away from them or who is taking one product away from them, and before you know it, they're calling you a spy, they're calling you various different kinds of names that you really don't need. So you end up as a startup needing to do your own thing, and eventually they start calling you names because, yeah, they themselves don't understand what a process is. In the trading market like this in Benin, that hasn't transformed from governmental orientation to things, service and product management becomes a problem. Eventually what I could do with this paper is that I could soak it in water and end up plastering something on the wall with it. Startup City Bo speaking. I need an assistant to do all of this work, but they need to be trained properly. By the time you are training them and you're telling them to be attentive to work, what happens is that they start being disinterested in secretarial jobs. So when you end up sitting down and having to do these things by yourself, they call you, you don't want to employ anybody. Startup City boss speaking. In business, no matter where you are, what you are, they will still tell you that you're not meeting up to somebody else's standard. Meanwhile, they are not in your shoes, they are not in your character, they don't have your own personality, they don't have your own skill. And here we have those situations where business people are antagonistic against each other. Startup City boss speaking.